Because your whole idea about fasting is to gain closeness, to gain nearness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Not to appease angry God. It's not to be sad about Jerusalem being taken or sacked. It's not any of those things. It's only to please Allah. For it is a training ground where man is taught the greatest moral lesson of his life. The lesson that he should be prepared to suffer the greatest of privations and undergo the hardest trial rather than indulge in that which is not permitted to him. This is a training ground. Remember, Tatakun, fasting is prescribed for you that you learn what? Self-control, self-discipline, that you learn self-mastery, right? That you learn how to master yourself. You learn how to control yourself. You learn how to focus on using your body and your gifts for that which is right. And to gain what? Nearness to Allah, closeness to Allah. So there's plenty of moral ethics in here. Social value. Prayer and fasting is one of the things that level, in prayer you can't jump over the people and the rich people come and get the front row, and the best seats, maybe like church or something. We don't do that. So Safal al-Awwal, the first rank is the people that get there, the first line, and there's blessings in all of it. So the hadith said, don't jump over people. You know what I mean? Don't go and scoot in the middle of people and say, scoot over, man, let me get in here. You don't do that in Islam. There's another thing that fasting and prayer, especially fasting. See, you can pray in the masjid and the poor man goes to his house where he ain't hardly got nothing to eat. Right? Especially in pastime. And the rich man to go home and he got drinks and everything going on. He's got it going on. During the fast, the poor man fasts, the rich man fasts. That develops a type of sympathy. Because now the rich man can identify with the poor man in his fasting. And another thing is this giving. They do it here, especially immigrants, some immigrants, and in the Muslim world, it's common for 1,000 people. I was in Pakistan and it was 800 people breaking fast in one place. And the people were vying for, I'm going to take care of that meal this night. The other guy's going to take care. They're almost challenging each other and doing good. Ramadan loosens up the purse. People feel freer. That's one of the reasons that, zakat is best paid at the end of Ramadan. That's why it's, because people, they're in a giving mood. It actually works. Also, now we do it here a little bit, but we ain't catching up foreigners in the amount of food. But also, fasting, it makes you appreciate what you have. You look at what you got, you say, man, what's the best time for the fasting when you break the fast? You be happy, and people stumble up the stairs, their eyes kind of red. Ramadan comes from the word Ramada. That means heat, that means burning. Ramada also used to be a wrapping. Remember, in the desert, it gets so hot that sometimes they had to wrap the camel's feet. Like our kids, they step on the sidewalk on a hot day, they get off. to get back on the grass. Because you know, when we was kids, that sidewalk get hot sometimes. You can't be standing there on it. You're barefooted. So, Ramadan, when the month Ramadan was coined back in almost prehistory, the months, the names were given during a part of the year where it was very hot. But Ramadan means to cleanse also. It means to purify. Just like when the sun shines, why can you make tayammum with dust? Because the sun shines down on the best disinfectant in the world is sunshine. Right? Out in the sunshine, you don't get no mold, you don't get all of that stuff. It's a different type of atmosphere. So Ramadan meant heat. It meant burning. Now, when you first start fasting at the early part of the month, you can smell your own breath almost, and you can feel that burning inside here. Now, you know, even in the days of Jahiliyyah, I remember when I was in the penitentiary up at McNeil Island, and we was in the nation of Shirk at that time, around 73 or 74. And one of the brothers, of course, Ramadan then was only in December. We thought that was Ramadan. We fast every December. That's during the cooler year. Because the Lamb felt that, well, I don't want my folks fasting any time of the year. He may not even knew that it was the cycle of, but he had fasting in December. And we all fasted in December. But you know what? I remember one brother, a couple of brothers, like especially Brother Pedro. Brother Pedro had big acne, big thick acne, you know. And in Ramadan, man, that acne would go away. He would be smooth faced. I said, man, you ought to fast all the time. Yeah, because he, you know, that oily skin, and you have, hey man, all of us, if we do it right, we experience a lot of the cleansing effects of fasting, especially that internal heat, internal burning that goes on. So fasting, when it was made a global institution, that means everybody was fasting. And it was not related to anything, a tribal god or a local god or a regional anything. And just think now, that there was a time not too many years ago when nobody knew nothing about no Ramadan. Now, you know, on the white folks' calendar, the desk calendar, they got Ramadan on there, they got Eid on there, and guess what? That doggone Ramadan day is more correct than the Saudis' day. They actually, you know, they're right more often than the Saudis are. They're not right all the time, but they, you know, they're making an attempt. So anyway, social value of more effective than that which is realized through prayer. Rich, poor, small residents, same vicinity are brought together 5 times daily in the Masjid on terms of perfect equality. So, fasting levels you. Remember, it's moral, ethics, spiritual, and physical. Physically, just what we talked about. You get your health. Your health is better. If you got a little light blood pressure, or all that stuff. Now, I'm saying if you fast normally with a semi-Quranic hadith mentality, you got to realize that the institution of fasting, in Egypt they ordered about 30-something% more meat in Ramadan. A lot of the way we do here, that's nice. But if you go some countries in the Middle East at night, they up all night. They're not partying or anything. They're not even doing anything illegal. They're going to plays. Everything happens, switches to nighttime. Now the Saudis got it bad, and then some of the Gulf states, they go home, or they do whatever they got to do all night. Then in the morning, for shuhur, they have a nice little, they don't have a nice little nothing. They eat seriously. Oh, they eat seriously. It ain't no, do you know, like there's a large population, not only over there, but here, that gain weight during Ramadan. Now the majority of us, we're going to lose a little. Many millions of people will gain weight during Ramadan. They're technically fasting. They're technically fasting. Yes, they are. They're technically fasting. But they're throwing down. We had a couple of at our Masjid in Oakland years ago, and we go to iftars basically all over the world. That's why you learn the culture of Muslims is by traveling. And I'm telling you, some places they really, really get into it. The spiritual aspect of sharing with your brother and people spending money on the neighborhood, on the vicinity. Most places, they really do that. They really get in. Some parts of Ramadan really stick with the people. Other parts, some of the people, you can look around here. When the Saudis send that greasy rice and chicken, all mixed with the rice, and everybody be licking their fingers, and they be just eating themselves to death. I don't know how they do it. I was in Oakland in '83, and we fasted. We was one of the only Masjid in the region at that time. And I'm telling you, the Saudis brought food one time, a lot. I didn't know how they did it. How they can eat. See, like most of us, we have to eat and stop, or we won't pray Taraweeh. Them boys got it all together different. They can gorge themselves. I mean, I already know how we are. Most of us would be stumbling over, falling off. Not them. Them boys be puffed all up. You know the Saudis, their big robes be puffed all out. And they get right up there. I know one, the brothers from Saudi Arabia, he was doing Taraweeh prayer and he was reading from the Quran. He had it open reading like this. He was just reading it, He did the whole juice like it wasn't nothing, and he ate at least 5-6 pounds of food that I saw. Easy. And it wasn't nothing. He wasn't tired. He wasn't nodding. I'm telling you, I'll tell you the truth. If you ever see me ease on out sometimes, I haven't done it in years, but a couple of times I ate a little more than I wanted. And that was it. I was done. I said, I'm sorry. I can't do going on in. Because I couldn't do nothing. A lot of people are like that. Anyway, we're going to pick up. So fasting is written for you as it was written for those before you, that you learn self-restraint, self-discipline, self-control. So fasting is an agency that draws you near to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's what fasting is. It draws you near to Allah. Okay. Now, our own article, the month of purification. This was back in 98. Human being, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's greatest creation, has been blessed with a combination of characteristics which, if used properly, can enable him to steadily develop as Allah's Khalifa, that is his vicegerent, his representative. Conversely, if these very same characteristics are left unchecked, they will lead the human being to be debased, or to a debased existence, making him the lowest of the low. You know, when the Quran talks about that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created us at the best taqweem, the best shape, the best form, the best fashion, the best structure. But we can rise to the highest of the high, above angels, or the lowest of the low, below the animals. We're a combination of combination of body, mind, and soul, the animalistic and the spiritual. We have within us all the attributes of the physical and carnal tendencies that are particular to animals.